Hey y'all, Miss Michelson here. I'm filming a video going over a couple questions on our 2.5 Math Excel assignment, but I'm getting my calculator pulled up because I feel like I might need it for this one. So I'm starting off with question number 3, which is asking us to find the term that should be added to the expression to make it turn into a perfect square trinomial. Remember, we can use Enrique's method in class when we can turn something into a perfect square trinomial. So we want to, in this like empty space here, add b divided by 2 squared. And that's a formula that we have from our notes. This one's a little bit funny though because my b term, 13, is an odd number. So it's 13 divided by 2 squared, which isn't going to be pretty. But in this little text over here, it says a simplified fraction is how I want to type my answer in. I know that 13 squared is 169, and I know that 2 squared is 4. So it should be 169 over 4. Okay, now it says, what's the factored form of this trinomial? Well, no, I don't know where the eraser is. Oh gosh, that wasn't the eraser. I don't want to clear my whole screen though. Oh, there we go. Okay, so I have 169 over 4. Now I want to factor this. Now I said this in class when we did that last problem that was a little hard. This right here, 13 halves, is the factor. It's always the b term divided by 2. So a lot of the problems on our Math Excel assignment today are going to have pretty numbers, but this is one of those that isn't necessarily so pretty. I wonder if they want me to write it out as 2 separate factors or if they want me to write it with the squared symbol. Let me try something real quick. This one, 7 squared is 49. That would be 49. Ooh. 7 over 4. 49 fourths. I was wondering if I could type x plus 7 halves and square it. So it will take either way. So it would take you writing out the parentheses twice, or if you want to square it right away, it'll take that as your answer. Now, this is a good problem to do because there is a question on here, and I have to find it. I think it might be the last one. The very last one, number 10. We're going to have fractions in this problem. So I'm going to do an example for you. We did this in class, but just in case we need another example. 2x squared minus 6x minus 16 equals 0. This one might be the exact one from our notes. I wonder if I can get a different question. Let me see if I can get a different one. Just going to check it a few times. This video is supposed to be very short and sweet, but now it's not. Similar question. Okay, cool. Let's erase that. I have the equation 5x squared minus 15x minus 30 equals 0. And it says solve this by completing the square. So I am going to first divide everything that I see by 5. I'm going to get x squared minus 3x minus 6 equals 0. That is not a perfect square trinomial. So I am going to move my constant term to the other side of my equal sign, and I'm going to leave myself some space to complete my square, my perfect square trinomial. My b term this time is negative 3. Negative 3 divided by 2 squared is 9 fourths. I'm going to add 9 fourths to both sides. Oh, I meant to get a calculator. Oh, I have decimals pulled up. That lets me factor my left-hand side as x minus 3 halves times x minus 3 halves. Remember where I'm getting that 3/2 from, right here. And then I just need to add 6 plus 9/4. Now, I could do this in my head, but I don't necessarily have to. 6 plus 9 divided by 4 is 8.25, but I could turn it into a fraction by pushing this button right here. 33 over 4 equals 33 over 4. Now I'm going to bring this over here. Remember, x minus 3/2 times itself is the same thing as squaring it, which is 33 over 4. I take the square root of both sides. X minus 3/2 equals the square root of 33 divided by 2, because 4 at the denominator is a perfect square. And then I'm going to take that negative 3/2 and add it to the other side to solve for x. This is my final answer. I ran out of space though. There's one last thing I can do with this. I'm going to write it over here. Because they have a common denominator, I can write this as one big fraction with the denominator 2. And I also forgot my plus or minus sign with my radical 33. Plus 3. And that's what I'm going to type in my answer box. Plus or minus the square root of 33 plus 3. If I hit Control A, it highlights everything, and then I'm going to hit the division button so I can put the whole thing in the numerator, and I'm dividing that by 2. Good job. If you get the answer wrong, they might show you the correct answer written a little bit funny. They might separate them with a comma. Just remember that plus or minus sign means one time you're using radical 33, the other time you're using negative radical 33. And the order in which you write the 33s and the 3s doesn't matter there. But kind of a long problem. Hopefully this was helpful. Remember, problem number 3 was kind of like a precursor to this. We had to understand that in order to apply it to our problem. If you have any other questions for me on your Math Excel, please let me know. But I will see you all back here on Tuesday.